All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this webinar. There's good amount of you already here present. I hope you have maybe something just to take just a short amount of notes with. Maybe not a whole lot of note taking, but I think it'd probably be helpful if you at least have some things, something to jot some things down on. We're going to go ahead and roll right into the webinar tonight. I want to just go over the title real quick: How to Crush HFTs, which is high frequency traders, grow your account, and become a better trader with the help of one unique system. Okay? All right. So, assuming that my audio is good, you guys can hear me crystal clear, and you guys are all amped up and excited about the webinar tonight, as am I. Let's go ahead and roll into this webinar tonight. And of course, just some housekeeping first. What the lawyers make me do is just put out a disclaimer out there. Anytime you're dealing with financial stuff with the stock market, of course, there's always a risk of loss anytime you make a trade or investment decision. And so with that, bearing that in mind, I do have to disclaim that I'm not a registered, broker. I'm not a registered investment advisor, anything along those lines. So then everything that you hear tonight, guys, and see on the webinar, you do have to take it for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so that's what the legal mumbo jumbo makes me say. And of course, there is the CFTC disclaimer down here as well. Go ahead, I'll give you a second to give that a quick read. I'll get a swig of water while you read that. All right. You guys do have sound, right? Ray saying he doesn't have sound. I just need to get a quick check on the sound again real quick. Just need somebody tell me you can hear me so I can move on to the next slide before we waste a lot of time. Okay, Sam can hear just fine. Okay. All right, so great. So that's always happens with webinars, is some people can hear and some people can't. Awesome. Okay. All right, you guys are great. Thank you for that feedback. Really going to depend on you guys a lot tonight for good feedback to keep things moving and going at the rhythm that they should go. Okay. So everybody got a good minute or two there to look at the disclaimer and read it through. So as far as HFTs go, let me start with this. I just don't want to have you guys thinking I'm expecting you to take my word for everything about HFTs, high frequency traders, and all that Wall Street speak. So what I did is I just grabbed a quick article that I found. It was actually on Zero Hedge, I believe. And so the headline of this short article says it all, right? It says 84% of all stock trades are made by high-frequency computers. Only 16% are done by human traders like you and me. Only 16%. That's huge, right? And you can see that the age of this article, guys, is not exactly too terribly recent. So you can imagine that this number here has gone up since 2012. Would you guys agree with that? So you can understand tonight that this is something that has basically taken over trading. It's taken over Wall Street, all right? So you guys see the high frequency traders, it's real. This book right here was written by Michael Lewis. It's a good book. I read it. I got through most of it, and I kind of got bored towards the end. But the basic gist of it is that there's a group of Wall Street bigwigs that paid a lot of money to be able to get an edge over retail traders and create these high frequency trading systems. They went through great lengths, and I do recommend that book. Like I said, I just kind of got hung up towards the end there. But the first half of the book is a really quick, good, and interesting read. So read Flash Boys when you get a minute. 84% of all stock trades, guys, and I venture to say that's probably closer to 90% by now. So here's a good cartoon. You guys may have seen this. I sent this out in the email the other day. But this computer here shows the little guy, right? So this is a little guy here. This is this is you and me right here, this guy right here. So he walks up and says, hey, I want to try my hand at the stock market. I want to try my hand, trading some stocks, maybe, you know, penny stocks or not penny stock. Maybe he just wants to trade in general, maybe wants to be an options trader or whatever. But, you know, what the reality is, at least according to this cartoon, is that Wall Street says, you know what, step right up, you know, open up that E-Trade account, open up that TD Ameritrade account, let's go, let's get you in the market and, you know, get you making some money. And then in the back of the store here, you've got the insider back here punching in the secret code to make money, while these milk bottles here that you have to knock over, you know, spill the milk, that's the analogy here, is they're glued together. So you think you can knock those milk bottles over by throwing a baseball at them or whatever they give you to throw at them, but in all actuality, they're super glued together. And so it looks like something that the average guy can do, that you have at least a 50-50 shot of doing, better odds than gambling, right? But in all actuality, the super fast, high-frequency trader is back here in the dark room and actually use something called dark pools, making it that much harder for you and me to make a good profit consistently in the stock market, okay? All right, so just a tremendous cartoon, so I want to share that with you. So let's talk specifics though, because, you know, if I'm just you know, painting HFTs in a bad light without really giving you some real examples, I think I'm giving you, you know, doing you a disservice. So I really want to show you what I think, in my opinion, was a recent case of an HFT trick, which is something, you know, that I'm calling, and other traders call tripping stop orders or stop loss orders. And so what happened here, you can see on this chart, guys, of IO, right? You can see this stock, they reported earnings this day, so, you know, it's not too crazy to see volatility on an earnings day, but this was just crazy. So the stock opened up right here. So this is the candlestick, so this tells you that the open is right here, right around 480 per share. And the stock went all the way down to about 390 before it recovered all the way past the previous day's close into the green at 533, right? And this, you can see I took this screenshot at 1:58 p.m., so the trade day wasn't even over yet, right? So you can imagine that some people own this stock and said, well, you know, I'm going to hold it, I'm going to see what happens, I'm going to give it plenty of wiggle room, so to speak, and, you know, maybe I'm going to put my stop loss here at 470, and they think, hey, you know, if I get stopped out there, I'll probably be happy that it did. It's probably because it's crashing down to $1 or something, and I don't want to be in anyways. Or maybe somebody say, well, you know, maybe I'll put my stop down here at 425, or even $4, thinking, oh, there's no way it's going down to $4. If it goes down to $4, then, you know, they're probably filing bankruptcy or something crazy like that. But that's not what happened, right? This thing bailed all the way down under $4 a share, tripped. You can imagine how many stop loss orders were tripped, guys, and then only to see the stock rally. How do you think those guys that had those stop loss orders in fell? Right? They probably didn't have too good of a morning at least. They probably may have gotten over it by the end of the day. Who knows? But that's not a good feeling, right? So here's a little closer look if you want to zoom in with me. Here's the 1 minute chart on this particular day where IO, you see the previous day it closed right here, right about $4.95 or $5 a share. Then it got down a little bit at 480, and then boom, that big sell stick right there, all the way down to about $3.90 a share, and then within probably 3 or 4 minutes, the thing was already back up to $4.50. So, guys, in my opinion, right, this is none other than the HFTs tripping stop orders and screwing over retail traders like you and me. Has anyone maybe experienced something like that before personally? Let me see if I can get some feedback. All right, Frank says they're money grabbing fees. I hear you, Frank. Anybody else maybe had, I don't know, maybe it doesn't happen that often, but you know, you can recollect something like that happening to you, right? So, you know, Frank's pretty upset right there. So, I'm guessing something like that happened to Frank. So with that in mind, guys, there is actually a publicly traded high-frequency trading firm that mints hundreds of millions of dollars in profits every year. This is it right here. Virtu Financial, however they like to pronounce their own name. All right, so that's the Wikipedia page for it. And you can see I highlighted this first sentence of the description. Virtu Financial is one of the largest, not the only one by any stretch, but one of the largest high-frequency trading, or HFT, and market-making firms. Okay? That's all they do. They don't sell anything. They don't make T-shirts. They don't make sneakers. They don't make computers. They don't make smartphones. All they do is high-frequency trading to the tune of profits like this. This is something that I pulled from a recent earnings release from Virtu Financial. Here you go. Virtu Financial is the ticker, VIRT. And the full year 2016 net income was $158.5 million. $158.5 million. That's quite a large sum of money, wouldn't you guys think? So with that, bearing that in mind, you got Virtu Financial out here. They're a publicly traded company. They just made $158 million last year. In the last quarter of 2016, they made $34.9 million. So they're just minting money, right? So I wonder, how many of you would be happy to take maybe just a small nibble out of those HFT profits, right? How many of you would like to say, you know what, Virtu Financial, you're going to keep doing well and everything, but you know what, I wouldn't mind just maybe being able to take a small nibble off of $158.5 million a year, right? I think that would be pretty much life-changing money for each and every one of us, at least be something that would supplement our income stream, right? If we were able to, in some way, shape, or form, just maybe take a small nibble out of that big pie of $158 million in profit. They'll probably make more this year, right? It's not like they're going to, their machines are going to get less efficient. They're going to keep getting more and more efficient over time, right? So how many of you would like to, maybe, in all seriousness, how many of you would like to take a small nibble out of those HFT profits? I'm going to take a swig of water here and let you guys type that in. All right, Jim says he would. Who else? Michelle says absolutely. Sam says sure, why not? Sandor says maybe we should buy shares in Vert. maybe a good trade. I have traded it before. Let's see. When I came out right after the IPO. Okay, Ross says a larger nibble. Ray says I would like to bankrupt them. Okay. Joey says yes, please. Okay. Of course, yes. All right. And Manuel says absolutely. Okay, guys. So thanks for that. And that again, that keeps me pumped up for to keep going through this webinar. So I am really excited about this. So in all seriousness, though, the frustration that many traders feel is this: every time I buy a stock that's going up, it almost immediately crashes. It's almost like I'm jinxing the stock when I buy it. And you can see this chart. This is from several months ago, but you can see this chart of MEMP, and the stock was right around 250, 260 a share, and then it crashes down to 220. I wonder how many people saw this right here. This first leg up right here, and then this leg up right here, and thought to themselves, oh man, that thing's breaking out. It's going to 270. It's going up here to 280, right? Something like that. How many have ever felt that? How many have ever been kind of, been the victim of a head fake of a move like that in stock, right? And I'm sure it's probably all of us. I know it's happened to me too, right? And then here's another example. This is EYES. This is eyes. This has been kind of a little, good trading stock over the years, although it's not been a very good stock as far as a long-term investment by any stretch. But you can see here there's 3 arrows I pointed to, 3 instances where the stock kind of moves up, and you can imagine traders getting excited, probably some cool news that came out, and then, oh no, the thing just crashes. It's like there's somebody just in the woodwork just waiting to dump millions of shares onto the market as soon as people get excited and start pushing up the stock price, right? Like someone's just sitting there on the ask, waiting to dump a bunch of shares on the bid, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to that, right? I think every trader can if they're honest. Nobody's been a superstar trader from day one, right? We've all had to learn things, and we still learn, and we still make mistakes. That's the way it is. But there are some things that we can change, I believe, to go ahead and level the playing field against HFTs and the things that they do, right? And, maybe some of you have even said to yourselves or joked around maybe with, family at dinner or Thanksgiving or, family reunions or friends, while you're at the coffee shop, you say, you know what, this stock, it'll do great. A stock will do great until I buy it, right? And you say, oh man, I want to buy Apple or I want to buy Google. Or maybe you're talking about something more speculative like this stock, like EYES or something, that helps blind people, be able to see. And then you think to yourself, I'd buy it, but if I bought it, I know the stock will go down. And you kind of laugh to yourself and kind of laugh it off, but it really deep down inside, you really mean it and you're serious about it, right? So this is one of the common things that traders kind of get disheartened about, and they get demoralized, and they honestly almost think that there's some kind of weird, eye in the sky and waiting for you to buy stock, and when you do, it's going to tank, right? Well, a lot of that is not, a lot of that, of course, is variables that you can't nail down to one factor or another. But I'm telling you right now, guys, that HFTs are part of the reason to blame. So the reality is that many traders buy at the tail end of institutions or high-frequency trading firms building positions in stocks, or as they establish short positions via computerized trading algorithms or algos that send the stocks higher for a specified time. Or if they're shorting stock, it'll go lower after that. Now, once the institutions are done, the stocks pull back, and many retail momentum traders are forced to take a loss or stop out just before stock reverses back to the S. So, the pain can almost be endless if you're on the wrong side of a trade, if you don't know how to spot what HFTs are doing. So tonight, guys, though, I do bring good news, okay? It's not your fault. Think about it. How many retail traders can be expected? How can retail traders be expected to keep up with algorithms and machines that Wall Street firms have invested literally millions of dollars into? If you read that book, Flash Boys, you'll see what they do is they hire Russian programmers straight from Russia. I don't know why Russian programmers are so good, but they are. And so the Russian programmers are the ones that, at least according to that book, program a lot of the high-frequency trading machines. And they kick our butt, right? So with that in mind, how can we really honestly be expected to keep up with them? If we're going to take a buy and hold approach, and buy Apple and not log into our account for another 10 years to see how it goes, then that's different. But, let's be honest, guys. We want to build our account fairly quickly, right? And holding Apple for 10 years, might be an option for some. But if you want to quickly build an account, that's not really going to cut the mustard, right? So how can we really keep up with million-dollar algorithms? Well, guys, tonight the game has changed for you and me. And with a heck of a lot of excitement, I do want to introduce to you tonight the M2 trading system that I've been working on for a long, long time. So that's kind of just to whet your appetite here, this kind of look at the interface, right? And then I want to move on. And I'll show you some more here in a minute, okay? So what makes M2 so powerful is that it's the institutional computer-generated buying patterns are highly detectable when using the right algorithm. While building positions in stocks, institutions can move up the price notably. When institutional buying or HFT buying is detected early enough, traders can capitalize by trading around that volume. I hope I made that clear. So as an analogy to paint the picture for you, you see this big freighter off in the distance? Okay, maybe he's trading those ways right there, maybe he's not, but he sees quite a ways out there. But just for the sake of the analogy, say that big ship out there is a hedge fund or an institution or a Wall Street HFT firm, right? And then here you're on this jet ski. You got your jet ski gassed up. You say, I'm going to go ride some of those waves that big ocean freighter is creating out here in the water. And so, in a similar fashion, you get to ride the waves short-term trading that maybe the institution or the hedge fund is creating, or maybe even the HFT. As it eventually gets to its destination, you're trading around that volume, that price action that big firm is creating as it buys that stock. Right? So in many cases, tonight, guys, it can lead to a win-win situation because it's going to get to where it's going, and hopefully if you use the right techniques and tactics as a trader, you'll make a profit too, and then it's win-win. So why the name M2? Why would I name a trading system M2? Well, I want it to be simple for the firstly, but there's two elements here, and I know I focus a lot on HFTs, but there is actually a second element. So the first one, of course, is the institutional or HFT buying right here, and then the second thing is social media chatter that is specific to a stock. So I don't know how many of you are on Twitter and read Twitter every day as far as there's some really good traders on Twitter, right? Those of you that peruse Twitter or trading information, and there's a lot of really good traders. There's a lot of people that just post stock spam, trying to get clicks to their website and crap like that. But there is some really good social media chatter on Twitter and on StockTwits that pertains to individual stocks and ETFs. So what M2 does is it's a custom algorithm that combines both of these that brings alerts. Okay. So it combines the two most powerful forces that move stocks, institutions and hordes of retail traders. So institutions obviously have enough money to move a stock price, especially a smaller or mid-cap, right? They got tons of money. They got to establish a position that's going to move the stock. And then a retail trader by himself or herself, or maybe 4 or 5 of them, is not going to move the price of the stock that much, but a horde of them will. And so you might say, well, how the heck do you know if a horde of retail traders are buying stock? Well, usually they'll be talking about it right here on social media, right? So that makes sense, I hope. So nobody, guys, at least to my knowledge, has combined the two in an easy-to-use tool or interface until now. So I kind of went off on a tangent there for a little while, or not really a tangent, but I kind of just went through a pretty good amount of slides there by myself without asking for your feedback. So I'm going to ask you guys for your feedback one more time. Would you like to see some examples of M2's early detection of computerized or algorithmic institution, that's a mouthful, buying, and whether or not it could have led you to a profitable trade? All right, so who wants to see some examples? Okay, Manny says absolutely. Scroll through, there's a lot of responses. RJ says sure. Tom says sure. Benoit says for sure. Chris says let's see him. Leroy says you bet. Ross says, is this unique to you? I think it is. Steven says that's why we are here. All right, man, let's go. I'll go ahead and show you some examples then, but first, I just want to share my story about how M2 was born. Okay, so just bear with me here just another minute. And I do want to share, a story about how M2 was born. So you guys see on this screenshot right here, this is E-Trade Pro. Now, some of you might use this. It's a very, very, very powerful tool that E-Trade makes available to traders that use its E-Trade brokerage account. Because they get a commission every time you buy a trade, so they give it to you for free as long as you make a certain amount of trades every month. If not, basically $100 a month. But So what I began to notice one time, and then multiple times, is that there was the ability to create a custom scan called the strategy scanner. And so I created a custom scan. And what I began to notice, guys, is that a lot of these stocks that began to hit this scan as I began to refine it and tweak it, they didn't just go up for 4 or 5 minutes. They just didn't go up sometimes for an hour or two. Sometimes they would go up for a whole day, two or 3 days, or sometimes even a week or two, and make really great trades, right? So this is kind of what I'm talking about right here, the arrow pointing to it, right? So that's a custom scan that I built, right? And then you can see here, this is a JNUG, right? You can see what the stock did, right? So it's down here, and then whoop, makes a nice move. So it's like a day and a half worth of upside right there. So, I said, I see this tool working. I see this strategy scanner being very, very valuable. But at the same time, if you guys have ever messed around with E-Trade Pro or maybe the Thinkorswim premium platforms, you know that they're great, but they're almost too great. They're almost overwhelming. They hire these guys and they do such a great job programming these things, and they're constantly adding features. And it's almost like info overload, right? You get in there and you log in like, okay, I just want to get my level 2 set up. Okay, I want a chart. Okay, I want this over here. And you only have so much real estate on your screen, so you have to kind of, pick what you want. And unfortunately, leave most of the power of this tool underutilized because, you're just one person, right? And you only have so much time. And so what I thought to myself is, what if I could kind of peel out this algorithm into something that's standalone, right? That's when I got the idea of saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try my best, even though I'm not a programmer, to peel out this algorithm and make it into a standalone tool, right? So while keeping it easy to understand and keeping it to where it's something that's not going to be something that overwhelms traders, where it's something where people just log in, boom, okay, I got my scan right here, and I've got some other tools that are useful, but at the same time not overwhelming them, right? So I wanted to strike that delicate balance. It almost brought me back to how I know the story of how Henry Ford, as a young man, took apart and then reassembled a watch, which eventually inspired him to be the father of the automobile. That's what he did. He was actually 13 years old. He took apart a watch and he got inspired. Said, "Okay, I figured out how this works." And then you can imagine the wheels start turning in his brain, where he says, "I can maybe figure out how to make something else that's really useful for humanity." And of course, he did, and built a huge business out of it. Became a very wealthy man. Now, guys, I'm no Henry Ford here. Okay, I'm not trying to compare myself to him, but he does inspire me. Okay. So what I did is that I hired a team of second world programmers who speak broken English at best to dissect and then reassemble this algorithm into an exciting and, again, user-friendly platform. 1.5 years, about a year and a half of programming, painstaking programming, I might add. I'm excited to roll this out to you right now. Now let's get to those case studies or examples of the types of trades that MSU can bring to you every day the market is open. Okay, guys, so here we go. So I know I promised that to you, so let's get right to it. So DRYS, so this is from a few months ago, before they did their reverse split. That was a disaster and everything. But, this is just about, trades that last maybe 1 to 10 trading days. This is kind of the sweet spot for MSU. So you can see this triangle right here, right? I don't know if you guys can see that, hopefully. Can. So you can see this triangle right here is right at oh, you know what? That's the wrong one. Okay, that's so this is AKAO. You can see here on the chart it went from $9 to $13. So I apologize that I had the wrong text up there. But you can see the point of what I'm getting at here. It alerts it at a certain price, right? That's where the triangle is. And you can see what happened afterwards, right? It went up. It drifted up. Not straight up, but it did drift up nicely, okay? And then there's also VG. Okay, so let's see, VG. Where was the alert triangle at there? So here's the alert triangle right here on VG. So right here, I guess it was right about the stock market open, and then drifts up from about 660 to 688 by about 3:15 that same day. Okay, so not something you're going to get rich on, but 660 to 690, it's a nice trade within the span of a day or two or three. Okay, so moving right along. All right, so this is the one I just showed you already. So, sorry about that, guys. But this is the watch list too, and then I'm going to explain how all this works in good rational order. But this shows you here on this page the watch list that I built, and I'm going to talk more about how cool the watch list is on this. That was triggered from an M2 scan. So all these stocks that I have on this watch list here were triggered from an M2 alert. Okay, that triangle popped up on the daily chart, or I'm sorry, on the intraday chart, and I added it to the watch list. So you can see here DRYS. Again, this is from late last year, before the reverse split that crushed the stock. But 327%, guys. Okay. OMER seems to be picking up a lot of biotech stocks lately too. 80%. FMBC, 46%. The list goes on and on and on. Of course. Okay. So just let me speed up here a little bit and kind of demonstrate how powerful this is and how useful it is. So this is how it works. So let's start. It starts from left to right. I hope you guys are following. So it starts from left to right. What you have on the left-hand side is you have your momentum scan results. Okay? You got my nice neat little logo that I paid somebody to make for us. All right, here. And then underneath that, you have your momentum scan result. Okay, so this is for one particular day. Towards the end of the day, I took this screenshot. You can see we're about 2 o'clock, 1400 military time. So first what you do is you see the stocks that are on the momentum scan, and then what you do is you just click one of them. You just click the column. So in this example, I clicked on Tesla. Okay, so I clicked on Tesla, and then number 2, I went ahead and saw where the alert triangle was. So the alert triangle was right here, right about 1:15 or 13:15. So when I see that, say I don't log in until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I want to know what time the alert triggered, right? So it tells me by looking at the alert triangle. And so what I do after that, the third step on this page, on this screenshot anyways, is I click the next tab, which is research. So I go from scanner, I see the stock I want to potentially put on my watch list. So I want to research and figure out why that stock is moving, at least from a catalyst or a news standpoint for that particular day. Okay? So that's what we do next. So we're doing that next, and we go to research. And what the research tab does is it pulls down 2 different boxes for us. So what it does is it pulls down the Twitter feed of that particular stock. So it's going to automatically put in Tesla into a Twitter feed, into a window on the left. And what I can do is scroll through these and scan for influential news or opinions on Tesla tweets, right? So there might be a tweet from Elon Musk in there, for example, right? That's been moving the stock. And then I can also scroll on the right-hand side through the headlines from a FinViz page that shows the results from Tesla or whatever stock it was that I clicked on, which of course for this example was Tesla, right? So what I did is I scanned for the headlines, and then that way I can add it to the watch list with a small bit of information that shows me maybe what the news for the day or what that particular catalyst might have been, at least from a news standpoint, right? So that's what I'm going to show you next. So I clicked on Add Tesla to Watch List, this green button right here, or I'm sorry, this orange button right here, guys. So I clicked on that, and then you'll get a pop-up window. It says Add to Watch List. Now what it's going to ask you to do is provide a note. So instead of just adding a stock to a watch list for no apparent reason, I don't think that's really going to help us as traders, right? So part of this webinar is about becoming a better trader. So if you're going to save something to a watch list, I think it's a good idea to maybe put in a short note, at least a short note, as to why you're putting it on your watch list. So what particular news piece or tweet is the reason that you're putting it on your watch list, in addition to technical analysis, right? Because technical analysis on its own is not going to make you a winning trader. You got to have at least somewhat of an understanding of the news as it pertains to individual stocks in the overall market sometimes, right? So you go ahead and you click that button. This pops up. And what I'm going to do is all I did is I copy and pasted this headline right here from one of the articles that pertain to Tesla. And on this particular day, Elon Musk says Tesla is making progress on its electric semi-truck. Okay? So that was something that I said, hey, this looks to me to be the influential news of the day that is sparking Tesla shares higher. So what I do after that is I just copy and paste it here, and then I click Save, and Tesla is added to my watch list. Okay, so now we go to the next tab, which is watch list. So we covered scanner, we covered research, now we're on watch list, right? So really with one click, we've added Tesla to our watch list. You can see it here at the age I just added, it says just now. It has the note that we put in there, right? And it's also now tracking the performance since we've added it to our watch list, okay? So very, very, very useful. And you can see here some other stocks that I have on the watch list during this particular time where I made this screenshot. So then what's next is you can paper trade within M2. So not only is it something where you can get alerts and build a nice organized watch list. By the way, with the watch list, guys, you can organize your watch list results as a basis of their performance since you've added them. So I'll show you this in a minute. I'll pull up M2 in a minute and show you this real time. But I can click on one of these arrows, and then instead of being random, it'll pull up the best performing stock that I've added on my watch list, and then it'll be in descending order. Okay, so pretty cool. So the next thing is the trading journal. So you want to make a paper trade on Tesla. All you do is you click on Track Trade in My Journal. You want to buy or sell, you click Buy, and then the next thing you do is just go through the prompts and make that paper trade. Right, and then what it does too is it sets it's optional for you to set a profit target in percentage terms or a stop loss, and then it'll automatically execute that trade for you. Again, but it's just a paper trade, but it is helpful to learn. So, and then the next thing is the trading journal. Okay, so you can go through all these trades that you made and see what happened. So, I don't know about you guys, but I've read some trading books, and a lot of successful traders say is that one of the characteristics of successful traders is that they keep a good journal. Okay, so guess what, guys? M2 just automates that for you. Instead of having to have yellow legal pads all over your desk all the time with notes that that you start and then you don't finish, right? Because we start keeping a journal, and then I know myself. I've tried to keep a journal on paper before, and you just don't stick with it. So this automates that for you, so you can go back and look through your previous trades and say, okay, I made money or lost money. I saw my notes, and potentially learn some valuable lessons that can help you become a better trader as you evaluate those trading journal results, right? And then lastly is the performance graph. So you can just look and see how you've done from a paper trading standpoint. And of course, you can also make these trades on your own in your own brokerage account. But so just basically what I did is that I put all the tools in addition to the momentum scan that I thought were useful within M2, nothing more, nothing less, okay? So guys, now that you've seen those case studies and how to use the system, maybe do you perhaps see without a doubt how M2 finds plenty of stocks starting to shoot higher that still have plenty of gas left in the tank? Like we saw Dries, 13 to 37. I think I had the wrong chart put up there, copy and pasted, but I remember Dries, triggering on M2 as it was still in beta mode, and I hadn't offered it, I hadn't opened the doors to it to anybody. But I remember seeing that and thinking, like, man, this is huge potential, right? So I think you guys probably see that potential too, right? And you probably also see how you can potentially make a mint by smartly trading the signals that M2 generates, right? So, I think you guys probably see that there's some pretty good potential here. So remember, you are like the guy on the jet ski having fun jumping the waves created by the big ships, which are the hedge funds, the big guys, the deep-pocketed institutions. Instead of getting wet, though, you get money, you get profits. Right? So now that you've seen the results M2 can bring to you and potentially life-changing wealth it can help you, lead you to after you begin to harness its power over the course of time, let's talk about what it will take to access this platform. So if you read Flash Boys, guys, and I don't think any of you had it and told me. Okay, Philip says very clever system. Thank you, Philip. So if you read Flash Boys, you'll see that Wall Street firms paid millions to program their computers to trade in such a way to give them an edge in the market to consistently make money. So that's a bad misspelling there, huh? Consistently make money. But you're about to get access to M2, which will give you the edge you desperately need as a trader for much less than what the HFT firms pay, guys, okay? Yeah, before I unveil a special offer tonight, guys, I want to reveal why M2 is much, much more than a real-time momentum scanner, right? It's actually a complete trading system. I've already divulged some of those details, but here's why. So about that watch list, that watch list, that built-in watch list is what I like to call a one-click watch list generator. So what it does is it makes generating and keeping tabs on stocks you're interested in super easy. Then, of course, the trading journal for paper trading allows you to quickly analyze both your good and bad trades, see what went right and wrong, and become a better trader. Okay? You got your technical analysis overlays. I didn't show you that yet, but I will. To instantly add important overlays that help you gauge when to buy and sell. So it's not real heavy on the technical analysis stuff, but there is quite a few indicators that I'll show you here in a second. There's also customizable chart time frames, so you can choose from one of many time frames to suit your trading style. Okay, and then there's also price criteria for scan results. So say if I just want to, look for stocks between $1 and $10 a share, that's what I'm interested in, you can quickly do that. And of course, you got your detailed performance charts to see how you're doing, your profit target calculator, and your stop loss calculator. All that is included, okay? And then, of course, you got your real-time data. The data that's fed into M2, that's not cheap for me to get real-time data, but I do have it as part of M2. So there's no 15-minute delay like you see with some other sites and systems, okay? And then also, guys, just added a new feature is that you get desktop notifications. So this way you never miss an alert. So say if you're logged into M2, right? You're logged into M2 and you go check your email. You're not staring at that screen all day, and I don't expect you to. So you want to know when a new alert hits. Well, what M2 does is that it brings desktop alerts every time a new alert is triggered. That way you won't miss it as long as you're at your computer, right? And then also, M2 is hosted 100% in the cloud. There's no clunky software to download. Okay, so I know there's a lot of stuff that's been trading software that's been sold through the years, and some of it, I guess, may be okay. But the problem is it's this desktop software you have to load up every day. And it crashes, and it just bogs down your computer. M2 is a cloud-based site. You go and log on, boom, you're right there, okay? So, guys, for today's special webinar-only offer, I want to get your feedback. Manuel says that real-time data, Canada and U.S. No, it's just U.S. stocks. Okay, let me answer some questions here real quick. So, Steven says, does the signal only come from your momentum filter, or does it use the social media as well to make this signal? Yeah, it's both combined into. All right. Okay. So for tonight's special webinar only offer, guys, I have a poll. So just having some fun here. So if you guys think tonight that the special offer for a full year of M2, with all those benefits and features that I laid out for you, and how much of a game changer this can be for your trading, how many of you think, maybe 1 year for $19.97 is what I might ask for a subscription for a full year, or $14.97 for a year, answer B, or answer C, $9.97. You guys tell me what you think You guys tell me what you think the offer for tonight's webinar is going to be. I'll take a drink of water here while I wait for your answers to come in. I got one of those cups that keeps your water cold for like 2 days. It's awesome. I think it's called a Yeti cup. Philip says 960. Okay. James says none of the above. Okay. Jim says C. Ray says less than all three. Is there a per month rate? Okay, we'll talk about that. Leroy says maybe lower. Oh, Steven says, sorry, did you say you need to have an E-Trade account? No, you don't. Steven says, I would like to try it. Okay. Sammy says $14.97, so he says B. Okay, so some answers across the board there, guys. So one, I think it was James got it right. He said D, none of the above, right? So none of the above, guys. Okay, for a full year, not going to cost $19.97. It's not going to cost $1,500. It's not going to cost, just under $1,000 either. It's actually going to be just $497 for a 1-year license to M2. If you guys want to grab this, you go to m2tradingsystem.com, a new link in your browser, and you go right to the checkout form. Okay? But hold up for a minute, guys, before you head on over there. To do something special for my longtime subscribers, and many of you on here are longtime subscribers, but this is for everybody that's on the webinar tonight. To do something special tonight, guys, for this special webinar to introduce M2 after, like I said, 18 months or so of intense programming, I'm offering you a lifetime license, not for $997, but for $497. So you get lifetime access to all the features, all the upgrades, the real-time data. You never have to pay another cent. Okay? To grab yours, to grab your lifetime license, just go to m2tradingsystem.com, which will take you to a checkout page. All right? Now, how about a bonus, right? So the lifetime license, I think, is pretty appealing because you never have to worry about a monthly payment. You never have to worry about an annual payment ever again. So how about a bonus, though, right? That kind of sweetens the deal, right? So what I'm going to do for the first 100 buyers, you can access a live trading webinar, and you'll get the recording too, with me as I trade using M2 during a live trading session as the market opens. And I'll reveal more details to those of you who buy a lifetime license as to when we're going to do that live trading webinar and get you out the recording and all that here sometime maybe in the next week or two. So I just have to be patient, but I will deliver that bonus for you, okay, that bonus webinar. And so again, the link, type into a new tab in your browser is m2, the number 2, tradingsystem.com. It should take you right to the order form, secure order form. Okay? Okay, hold on a second here. Let me read these questions. Reginald says should have a training course required first. Yeah, the bonus webinar will, you'll see me using it in real time and everything, so hopefully that should answer any questions. Let's see. And Wells says, seems good. I have vector vests for US and Canada around the same price. It works with market timing, mostly along with many indicators. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I don't like about vector vests is I think it's desktop, right? So I don't think they're offering a lifetime. Okay. Okay, good question. Do you have a smartphone version? So the app is something that will come out in the future, and you guys will get access to that. Okay, so that's what I mean. All future upgrades, you guys get access to that. One of the things that will roll in the future is the app. But you can log into it on your phone, on your smartphone, pretty easily. Because I've already tried it myself, and you can still use it pretty easily too. Okay. All right. Philip says lifetime. Wow, no brainer. Thanks. That's awesome. All right. Thank you, Philip. Philip says I suggest using or including GFDs and FX. Okay, definitely. That's something that I could roll into in the future for forex trading and stuff. I found that for U.S.-based traders, for whatever reason, we're pretty much fixated on the stock market. I don't have a whole lot of guys asking for forex trading, but that's not something that I would rule out for to bring as a capability in the future. Okay. All right. So again, this is for first traders only. First 100 traders only. Excuse me. So it's a lifetime license to M2 for a one-time investment of not $997 but $497. It does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. The only thing I ask is that you do realize that if you do want to claim a refund within the 30-day window, there'll be a 15% admin fee that will be held back from that refund. That's just because I'm paying for a pipeline of data when we use this system, and so I've already invested a small fortune in getting this developed, and so for folks just to get a refund maybe on day 29 after using it, or even after using it for a couple days, it's going to run up my bill potentially, and I just need to make sure I've got my kind of rear end covered as far as costs go, because I have a lot of costs sunk into this thing already. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. So the link to type in your browser is m2tradingsystem.com, and you guys can lay claim to this, and you'll get information on how to create your account as soon as you finish checkout. Okay. So in return, guys, for accessing this via a one-time lifetime license investment of $497, all I ask for your help is for your help fine-tuning this, giving me your feedback. Like I said, this is the first time it's opened up to the public outside of my VIPs. My VIP traders have had access to it for a while, but other than that, no one else has had access to it. So in return for this $497 offer, all I ask is that you have an idea, you have feedback, just send it my way, and I'll appreciate that, and then I'll implement that feedback to make M2 better as time goes on. Okay, Phil says he uses Black Box, and it's way more expensive. I haven't looked at Black Box, Philip, so. Okay, Sandor says he just bought it. Awesome. Thank you, Sandor. So do we choose, Steven says, do we choose what stocks are to be monitored, or is the price the only filter? Yeah, so the price is the only filter. I'm gonna go ahead and load it up. And it also says, can you incorporate the Canadian market feed in the future? Yeah, definitely. That will be something that I look to implement. I always get a lot of feedback from Canadian traders. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and bring it over here for you guys. Let me demonstrate. Okay, hopefully this isn't too big. It's a little smaller. All right, can you guys see that? All right, Joseph said he just purchased it. Awesome, Joseph. So one of the things too, guys, is so if I go to M2 Scanner right now, every night at midnight Eastern, the results will clear from the momentum scan. Just so you know. So some little things, some learning curve that you guys will of course get accustomed to as you use it for a few days in a row. But one of the things is that so tonight at midnight, so that'll be a little less than 3 hours from right now, all these will clear right here, except for they'll all clear. So the way let me go ahead and, so CBIO triggered the scan today. It triggered right here at 11:45. Okay, so and then it closed, it closed basically the same price. And you can see there's all kinds of stocks and ETFs too. FAS is on my watch list. DIA triggered today is the Dow Jones, right? Triggered right here, this Dow Jones ETF, right? Now the technical indicators you can see right here, like I can click that and get the Bollinger Band right there. A lot of people like Bollinger Bands. MACD. It'll pull up the MACD. Now, if you want to use the price scan thing, what you do is just go to 1, like I said, 1 to 10. Oops. Oh, it's because I got it so skinny. That's why I'm doing that. All right, so it'll pull up all the results between 1 and 10. That's a quick way to screen out the stocks. Say, well, oh man, I don't want to mess with stocks that are $180 a share. I don't want to mess with Apple $135 a share. Well, this is a quick way to make sure that all you're focusing is on is the cheap stock that you want to focus on. Okay. Let's see, SINO hit today. That's a shipping stock. So I don't really use these technical indicators that much. Every once in a while I'll play with them. I put plug on Friday, I think. So one of the things it'll do too, guys, is that when they're starred like this, that means they're on your watch list. So something like MNTX is on my watch list, is on my scan here results, only because it's a watch list stock. That way I can quickly see if there was an alert triangle during the day. And of course there wasn't. But it's over here, so I can quickly check to see if there is a trigger for a stock that's already on my watch list. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So let's do an example here. Say if I want to put something on my watch list. Look through these, see which one did good. Okay, so I'm going to just get rid of my price criteria here. Okay, so Vail. Okay, so this one was triggered right here, $11.32 a share at about 11:15. And I'm going to see if there's any news pertaining to it that interests me. So I'm going to scroll through the tweets. Some of them will be worthless tweets like this guy's right here. Some of them will be insightful. Okay, so no real useful tweets there on Vail for whatever reason. And then so I'll just read the headlines here and maybe pick an article. Put the date. I'll click on an old article. Okay, so I'll click on this one right here. It's going to Investors Business Daily, good site. Okay, so Vail and Rio Tinto led a continued rally, blah, 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 as China demands higher quality steel inputs, and Vail might keep its CEO longer. Okay, so that's pretty much all I need to know right there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that sentence right there. I'm going to close that tab, and I'm going to add it to my watch list. Save. Let's go to watch list. And you can see I just added Vail to my watch list. Now again, I'm at my watch list here. So what I'm going to do is I want to see what stocks have done well since I've added them. Boom, I go right here. And it brings up AKAO. There's a bug here. It was added a lot longer than 3 days ago. So that'll get worked out. But I'll pull up the daily chart so you guys can see. So AKO, this was way back in October that this got alerted. just so you know. So it's been on my watch list for a while. CL. So see what I mean about the biotech stocks popping up here? So this is another biotech. This is a biotech. This is a some kind of construction business company. MNTX has done well. It's been on the watch list for 24 days. AEHR been on my watch list for 5 days, 23%. Again, remember I used that example during the slides. I talked about Tesla. This is what it's done since I added it that day. It's went up 9%. So you might say 9% is not a lot of money, Matt, on $1,000 worth of shares. It's not, but if you're playing call options, that's pretty good money, right? And so you can just see some different stocks and ETFs that I've added on here. What they've done since I've added them. Not everything's going to be a winner, right? But see, the thing with it, and then you can do the losers on top too. The thing with the watch list is that when you see the stocks that lose, that do poorly, you can learn from that, right? So, this KBSF, I think it moved up big on Friday, and then today it started up big and then reversed. It's not really a legitimate stock. It's only really moving up because of a short squeeze after a reverse split. So that's one of those ones, if you trade that, you need to babysit it. Okay, so Digital Alley, American, blah, 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 the largest commercial order. So that sounds nice, but that's kind of a fluffy press release, So you learn to kind of just, you get some discernment to when you see those kind of, fluffy press releases that make stocks go up for 2-3 hours in the morning and then, don't pan out as far as multi-day moves, right? Okay. Okay, Reginald says, what about candle patterns such as a doji and a shooting star? No, I don't. I didn't want to. That's one of those things, Reginald, that I could have included, but I didn't want to because I really wanted to keep it from being overbearing. And so I had to make a decision on where to cut off the features. And so that didn't make a cut. So it has, quite a bit, but I didn't want it to make it primarily a technical thing. I want it to be a combination of technical triggers and also, the research, the learning, the watch list, and then learning too from the trading journal and the performance graph. So a lot of people are shorting ARRY. And that's another thing you do too, is you want to look at a stock that hasn't triggered this scan. All you need to do is just type it in there and click the magnifying glass, and you can pull up the chart. You can add it to watch list too. So say I want to add ARRY, I'll take a quick scan at the news for it. Is Array Pharma the best clinical stage biotech to buy in 2017? So it's getting some love from Motley Fool. Let's just say that. Motley Fool positive article. Okay? Is that added or not? There we go. All right, now it should be on my watch list now. Yeah, there it is. See? So it'll track the performance since I added it, and I'll always see what the reason of the catalyst, that short note, as to what interests me about that particular day's news cycle that pertain to that stock or ETF. Okay? And then if you want to make a paper trade too, of course the market's open right now. But if you wanted to, and this kind of ticked me off too, because I paper traded this ship back in November when the shipper stocks were going bananas. And then my programmers did a complete kind of system upgrade to their servers, and I couldn't sell the stock. So it showed as a total loss. So you have to take my word for it in saying that this would have showed as a much bigger gain. I don't know what the thing went to, but that's pretty general overview of it. Again, you'll get better at it. You'll get more familiar with it as you use it yourself. excuse me. See here. All right, guys. So let me see here what I got going on over here. All right, guys. Again, a one-time investment of $497 gets you a lifetime license. That's not a 1 year. That's not 2 years. That's not anything, any finite time frame. That's a lifetime license to M2. Okay, I plan on keeping it going forever. You know, when I'm old and I'm only 39, but you know, I plan on maybe passing my business down to my son someday. So everything will be kept intact. You'll have access to it. $497. Again, a 30-day money-back guarantee, minus a 15% admin fee that helps me cover my data costs. So here's some tips, though, to use M2 more effectively. Look for fresh stocks to appear, meaning stocks that have not made a big move in recent weeks or months, and avoid stale stocks, or in other words, stocks that have already had recent notable moves to the upside. Here's some examples. Okay, so this is back from early last year, actually. And so early 2016, you saw LEI at Lucas Energy. It moved from $1.60 to $10.65 in 1 day, right? So M2 alerted that. Again, this has been a year and a half in the making. And so I remember it alerted it, during the run up, and then hit $10 after this long dead period, and kind of stayed up high there for a few more days before it trickled back down. So that would have been a good trade, as it triggered right around here in the middle of the candlestick between 350 and 450. Okay, that's a fresh stock example. A stale stock would be right here in RWLK. So back in December 2015, had a big move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days almost in a row, and then on the way down, on the pullback from 17 all the way down to 13, it triggers an alert right around here. Well, you can see, the big move has already happened, right? So the odds of this making another huge move like this only a week or a week and a half later are not very good. Okay, so this is on the back side of the breakout. It was almost like a stale stock, so you would kind of want to disregard any alerts you see on a stock like that. Also, be sure to do some quick research. I kind of showed you how I do that on the second tab, on the watch list tab, on what the storyline of that company is, i.e. if they're in a dying sector like coal. Coal's kind of been on the rebound lately. But you want to pay attention to stuff like that, and if so, you want to be extra cautious. Right now, the dying industry. Who can tell me what the dying industry is right now in the stock market? The stocks that are performing just horribly. Anybody tell me what stocks are getting clobbered this year? What group? Going once, going twice? Oils are doing okay, Joseph. It's actually retail stocks like Macy's and JCPenney and Sears are getting crushed, okay? Kohl's. So if it's a retail stock and it triggers on M2, you're going to want to be mindful, okay, when does this company report earnings, things like that, okay? So, you still have to use good sound judgment and investigative, techniques here, but M2 is a tool that helps you really, really streamline all that work. Now, also, too, I need to mention this. New scan results typically appear after 11 a.m. Eastern. This helps avoid the pop and drop type stocks. So what I found is that first part of the morning, how everybody's excited when the bell rings, ding, 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 all this adrenaline rush. And so what happens is a lot of stocks pop and drop on good news, and they don't continue higher. And so I've had the algorithm tweaked so it basically avoids much of that. Now, there will be times when it'll start printing out alerts before 11 a.m. Eastern. But that's typically when the first alerts start coming in. Okay, guys? So this is definitely something that's more geared towards, swing trades, not really day trading. Alerts that, can lead you to stocks that, may move a few days in a row for you, maybe even a few weeks. Okay, so you won't get any alerts usually until after 11 a.m. Just want to make that clear. Okay, Philip says got to jump off here. Thanks so much for the invite. Definitely going to switch from BBS to M2. All right, thank you, Philip. Jeffrey says, how long will this one-time investment be available? I'm going to do it for the first 100 traders that buy the lifetime license, Jeffrey. Michelle says it won't open in the browser. What do you mean? M2tradingsystem.com? It should take you right to the checkout page. Let me try it. All right. M2tradingsystem.com. Okay, thanks. Yeah, looks like it's working. If you've already bought, Michelle, I apologize. But I don't know if you're referring to the order form not working or what. Okay. M2tradingsystem.com, guys. All right, seeing some people take advantage of the offer. Thank you, guys. I know a couple of you already told me who you are. All right, guys. So $497 for a lifetime license, opposed to I've seen some of competition in trading solutions as far as software or cloud-based, whatever you want to call it, tools like this. Anywhere between 700 to 2. I saw one that's just coming out by, I won't name his name, but you guys probably all know his name. He's had someone program some trading software for him who's big in the penny stock niche, and he wants $2,000, right about $2,000. If you pay his monthly fee for a year, you're going to be forking out about $2,000 for 1 year. So like, man, that thing better be making me a pot of coffee in the morning if it's $2,000 per year, But that's the reality of it. That's what the competition wants you to pay, guys. But you guys see what you get. One investment, $497 for a lifetime license to M2, and you guys have a system that you can use with no recurring fees ever again, right? And it comes with a full 30-day money-back guarantee, with the exception of the 15% admin fee if you get a refund. That helps me, not lose too much money on my data fees, right? All right, guys. So you can fight back against the HFTs, get daily account building stock alerts, and never worry about a pesky monthly or yearly payment again, right? Nobody likes those monthly payments or yearly payments, right? I mean, you get services, newsletters, whatever software that works, but still, we don't like those monthly fees, do we, guys? No, we don't. So if you guys grab this tonight, first 100 takers get access, a lifetime license for just $497 one time. Okay. M2tradingsystem.com takes you to the secure order form where you can grab your lifetime license. Let's see here. Anyone else have any questions? I guess we've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes now, so that's good. I thought we were going to last a little longer than an hour, so it's good, but we're not taking too long. All right, guys. Oh, and a quick note, too. After you claim your lifetime license, watch for an email with instructions on how to create your M2 account. Okay? It's pretty cut and dry. So I'm just going to go to the 5-minute warning tonight. So we're going to wind things down in right about 5 minutes from now. And I just want to leave things open. I just want to sit here with my my glass of water and sitting here in my chair, and that way I'm available to you to answer any question you might have right here, boom, on the spot before we log off tonight. Okay, so you guys want to grab it tonight? There's a handful of them that have already been gone. That have already been claimed. So I'll keep everyone updated on how many are available. But I'm making it available to 100 traders total. So however long it takes to get to that number, I don't know. By the judge's response tonight, it probably won't take too terribly long. Okay? M2tradingsystem.com. That's my daughter. She's ready for dad out to be done. Sorry about that. But yeah, 5-minute warning. We'll close down here pretty soon. David said, I just started trading a few months ago. Is this good for me? Well, I'm biased there, David there. I'm definitely biased, but I think absolutely, because not only are you getting the alerts, you can focus on the stocks you want to focus on and the price range you want to focus on. Then you also get to learn, as you add stocks to the watch list, what type of catalysts actually work as far as, stocks that will move for more than just a few minutes, stocks that will work for a day or two or a week or two, and help bring some good profitable swing trades your way. Nick says, can I get the replay? I only got in the last 15 minutes. You know what, Nick, I haven't decided yet. If I don't do a replay on this one, after the next webinar, I'll publish a replay for everybody. I'm just not sure. Okay, Joseph said, thank you for this opportunity. Hoping it will be profitable. Good night. All right, Joseph. Thank you, sir. Okay, so seeing a handful more of you grabbing your lifetime licenses, and that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm pretty much the support desk for now. So any questions, just email me. You can email me at support@m2tradingsystem.com or matt@microcapmillionaires.com. All right, so just a couple minutes left, guys. I just want to just give you a couple of minutes. Maybe you're kind of thinking, oh, do I want to ask this question? Do I not want to ask this question? Just go ahead and ask me. Yeah, there'll be a replay eventually, Mike. I don't know if I'll do it for this one or if I'll do it for the next webinar that I do. I'm going to do another webinar during the daytime probably. I might wait to after that replay to post or after that webinar to post the replay, if that makes sense. I try to get as many people on here live before I start pushing out replays, because some people get in the habit of not showing up for the webinars, just waiting for the replay. Okay, guys. Yeah, just let me show you what the interface looks like here. Go back to those slides really quick. Hit your scanner tab, pull up your results, and you go to research tab, see what's going on, the story behind the story. Add it to the watch list with a short note, and then the watch list tracks the performance after you add it. And then you can do a live paper trade. And then as you enter that trade, you can put an automatic profit and stop loss target in, and then track your results in your trading journal. Okay, and then also, lastly is the performance graph to see how you're doing. Okay. Usually after 11 a.m. every day, you get the results. Yeah, the only ones that have had access to this so far have been my VIP traders. So you guys are the first ones that have, you know, been around or see me peel back the curtain on it, so to speak. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it looks like there's no more questions. I guess everybody's pretty much up to speed on how it works. A lot of you probably, you know, stewing on it, whether or not you want to grab it or not. I understand, you know, sleep on it. And I'll either have another webinar or a replay out soon. And so you'll have, you know, some more time to make up your mind. Again, I'm making 100 of these lifetime licenses available. There's a good handful of them gone right now. So once they're all gone, though, they're gone. But, you know, I'm not going to try to pull the wool over your eyes. You know, there's plenty of them left. So you'll have some time to, you know, make up your mind. But after the lifetime offer is expired, then, you know, it'll be a monthly or a yearly fee that will, you know, this will make that look like once you see the monthly or the annual fee, you'll probably be wishing you got the lifetime license so you don't have to mess with those continual fees, right? So I just want to throw that out there, though. So, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, oh, you know, this is your last chance. Think about it, sleep on it, and, you know, if you want to grab it in the morning when you wake up, just email me. I'll shoot you a link to the checkout form, or you can just go to m2tradingsystem.com. Pretty easy to remember, and check out there. That's fine with me. If not, wait for the next notification about a webinar coming out. I'll probably do the next one during the day. Try to hit up the people that are on their computer during the day, but I want to do one at nighttime for those of you who, you know, can't be at your computer in the day. And so that's how it'll go down. And again, if you have any questions, just email me at matt@millionaires.com or support@m2tradingsystem.com. And we'll go ahead and log off tonight. Again, that link one more time, guys, m2tradingsystem.com takes you to the secure order form where you can complete your checkout. Okay, $497 for a lifetime license. You guys have a great night.